there was a film, if it's a comedy, if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium or something like that. Why that title? Well, it was something like this. Americans mostly, I think they were. I don't remember much from the movie, but it was an interesting motion. Visiting Europe, and they had a packed schedule, had to visit a lot. And I must say that it is confusing at times. I've worked in the hospitality, what is called today hospitality industry, which is in such trouble today with the pandemic. And when you have a lot in the program, you forget at one point what is next, what we have now to. And for those people then in the movie, they were going through Belgium, Liechtenstein, France. They were doing something with Germany, Switzerland, going for maybe, possibly, surely through Italy, because it's interesting and it adds to the comedy side of the story. So at one point I was thinking, where are we now? What is today? Well, if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium. They look in the calendar, so it's what day is Tuesday? Okay, so in the program, it must be Belgium. That was the joke out there in the title, in the one of the themes in the story. Belgium. Belgium. I stopped abruptly yesterday because I had to. One incident notable, which we remember, took place at the cabinet of Guy Dujan, Kennedy of Boston. He was minister of, mentioned that before, agriculture, forest, and something else for the French-speaking region of Belgium. And he had a cabinet in Brussels, where his secretary was a very good-looking girl. I don't know if there was anything else going on there. Maybe, I don't know, the guy was handsome. In his 40s, I think, maybe. Charming also, I mean, politician with success. And this woman, at one point, supervised our lunch, our having lunch. They offered us lunch in a, I don't know, a meeting room there. And she was saying something like, oh, this is a spoon, this used for the soup, and something like that. With the idea that for people like us coming from our land, maybe we need some instructions like that. Which seemed offensive, preposterous at that point, to a large extent. But on the other hand, I saw for the third, fifth, I don't know, time, some passages from Seinfeld last night or the other day. He was talking about Chinese, about they're using chopsticks. And for so many thousands of years, and even saying something like, well, I don't get this. This is not a quote. Many centuries ago, this Chinese peasant is using the chopsticks and then going outside to work in the fields with a shovel. Come on, a shovel? Meaning they had a long time to make the connection and get to use a spoon and things like that. I don't know, a joke. But with the sense that different people use different methods and chopsticks. Maybe she thought our country is like China. We're using chopsticks. Who knows? Or in other territories, lands they use the hand because it's traditional. Not, I mean, even if they're high up in the hierarchy, they use the hand because that's a cultural thing. It's not being backward. So anyway, that was one thing. What a beautiful girl, though. Very beautiful girl. So that's one incident. Then we were taken by the Baron on a day. They divided us between themselves in the sense that we stayed 1 week, so they took us for more with the family of Didier. And then maybe for another week in an apartment that Jean-Pierre Lujan had in Brussels. But then in various different days, it was mostly Didier, I think, but in one, like the Baron, would take us to the north. We went to Antwerp to see the coast, in Bruges, like the movie. We went a little around and noticed that the guy was racist. He was looking down, speaking badly of Moroccans and some other people from other places, and he must have thought bad things about us as coming from the east. He was a baron, or pretended to be, and just this. I don't know why. He offered to do this thing for us, which, on the other hand, maybe proved again his noblesse oblige. Maybe he thought we weren't that bad. I don't know. So that was one thing with the Baron. I remember. Now I'm trying to be vegetarian. I was a carnivore back then, and confusing the canard, not knowing canard is duck, thinking it's something else. A strange thing happened with the car. So we bought 2 cars. A strange thing happened with one of them, the Renault, the Volkswagen. We bought a Volkswagen diesel, a Passat, maybe 10 years old, maybe a little older. We only had to spend $3,000, maybe less, on both of them. And a Renault R4 or R5, a very old model. Maybe it is like the one the Pope has, Pope Francis, a modest guy, in contrast with most of those cardinals who use fancy limousines. Terminal. They like luxury. Never mind what's going on here. I wouldn't even get into that. I'm just touching on it. We have some ridiculous, preposterous, devilish clergy. Not all of them, but I mean the higher hierarchy. At the very top, there is a satanic figure who's driving in a Maybach, not just Mercedes top of the line S, but he goes for the one which is some hundreds of thousands, 400, I don't know, thousands of dollars or euros, and that will be enough to feed a small town for a few years, I don't know, but he's just wasting it on useless, offensive luxury. Pope Francis has a R4 or something, a car which is 40 years old, and it had gear shift, not like the Americans, which is going for modern cars, quite modern cars. Well, never mind the Formula One that you touch and you change the gears on the wheel. This was a hard thing to engage with. You had a like a stick on iron, and you had to engage it in a strange way through the panel. It was antique. I mean, the model was launched, I don't know, in the 60s. I'm just saying, I don't know. The car was not 50 years old, was maybe 15 years old, but still the model was old, and this is 1991, so anyway. And we got stopped. It must have been the Volkswagen, though. And in Belgium they have this strange thing. You have to, regarding the plates, you buy the car, but somehow you need to get the car to Brussels so that they see it and they get the plates. Even if you bought the car, as it was in our case in Baston, some garage or car selling thing, outfit in Baston. But the DA said, okay, never mind that. I mean, we would have to do it in a very complicated way, to put the car on another transport vehicle and pay the amount it cost us just to get the plates, to transport. You see what I mean? To transport it to Brussels, and then so a weird, bureaucratic, silly thing in Belgium, which has lights on at night, by the way. I think that's a waste with the saving of the planet and saving energy. Well, it's true. It's a question of safety. It's much fewer accidents, because I don't know if they use solar power. Okay, they can, but otherwise, I don't feel it should be so much light at night. Natural thing to be is to have fewer. But anyway, that's a silly thing of mine. So we got stopped. This will be for tomorrow, because this note is getting too long. We got stopped by the police on the way from Brussels back to Boston. I will explain tomorrow.